everyone, it's Jessica. Thank you for being patient with me as I have been navigating the busyness of the end of summer. It's been a while since I've had a video, but I have just recently been playing with my Hip Kit Club for July. It has a lot of really pretty tropical and summery kinds of goodness in it, and so I thought it would be fun to scrapbook these pictures here from a camping trip a couple of years ago, and we happened to be camping near Cedar Point in Ohio, and so we went to the water park one day. Now I do have a lot of pictures, so I am working off the Make It From Your Heart Volume 6, Pattern 18 from Close to My Heart, and I think I'm going to be able to fit all 9 photos onto this double page layout. Now I had a lot of fun going through that July Hip Kit collection and pulling out these pattern papers. There are really so many pretty ones in there that I just was like trying to use all of them because they were so fun and especially paired together. So I did cut them down according to that pattern book, and I inked all of the edges with some coordinating ink, and this is my first time here just kind of laying them out and crossing my fingers and hoping that I made some good choices for the patterns. Kind of want to see how it all looks once I put it across both pages. I like this one because, like I said, it gives you an opportunity to use a lot of different papers and patterns. Make sure I get my stripes kind of sort of lined up there. And then I'll bring in my photos. So I have a couple of 4x6 photos, and then this pattern also calls for some 2x2s and then also some 3x3s. So I'll get these kind of laid out here just to get a feel for things, and I think this is definitely going to work. I like my paper choices. Now over here underneath this landscape 4x6, it does call for a 1/2 inch strip of paper, but I think I'm going to use my Capri shimmer trim instead and just bring in a little bit of sparkle. And then there's still a lot of white space over here on this right hand page, and so I think I'm going to do a little bit of inking and stamping just to kind of dress up the area where the title is going to go. Now I went through my ink stash and I'm using Close to My Heart inks. I pulled out a couple of different colors that I think are going to work with these papers. I've got Glacier and Bluebird, Capri, and Flamingo. So I decided to go with Glacier for my ink blending behind where the title will be. It's a little bit lighter than some of those other blue colors, and I wanted this to kind of stay subtle. So I'm just grabbing some of that ink with my blending brush and putting it onto all of that white space, just in a random way. I want it to look really organic. And then I wanted to do a little bit of background stamping, and I went searching through my stamp collection until I found some kind of pattern that I liked. This is actually from a floral stamp set, but it has these fun little plus signs that I thought would work really well. So I am going to use those, and I'm going to grab a darker color blue. So this one is Capri, and I don't want it to be too dark, so I'm kind of testing out what it looks like full strength versus second generation. So I'm going to stamp this in second and even third generation across that white space over where I have done that inking. I will end up repeating this over on the left-hand page as well, off to the side of some of my photos. And then later you'll see where I do it again down at the bottom of this area here. Now for my title, my Hip Kit Club did come with these alphabet chipboard letters, and they're really cute. I like that blue color. It works well with a lot of the colors in my photo. And so I am thinking that I'm going to do having a splashing good time, and I'm going to mix and match my fonts and my letters for the title. So I'll use these chipboard alphas for the word splashing, and then I will use one of my stamp sets from my stash to stamp the rest of the title. So I just am kind of like testing out here. Do you ever do this? I always get worried I'm going to stick things down in the wrong order. So I like to spell it out on a scrap piece of paper, and then I count the letters to see where the halfway point is going to be. And then that way I can hopefully get things where I want them to go and centered without just guessing. So that's what I was doing over on that sticky note, is finding out where the halfway point of the word splashing is. And, you know, these aren't, or at least when I was first pulling them off, I didn't think that these letters were all that sticky. And so I was just kind of making sure that I liked the look of this first, and I wasn't really pushing them down too hard yet. My plan was to pull them back up and get a little bit of liquid glue behind the letters once I had my placing down exactly where I wanted it to be. But off camera, when I started doing that, I got just about 3 letters in and realized that they were a lot stickier than I thought they were. I was having trouble pulling them back up to put the glue down without ripping the paper, so I just gave them a really good burnishing, and I think that they're going to stick just fine. So down here where I had stamped my journaling lines, I was kind of feeling like I needed to do a little bit more of that inking. But first I want to kind of see what of the die cuts I might use so that I can plan that area a little bit better. So I've gone through the die cuts that came with this collection, and there are a ton of really cute ones and a lot. Like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get through an entire kit and ever use up all of the things that come in it, because it's really a lot of fun and a lot of stuff to play with. But I liked the idea of kind of doing a sun, just because this was a really sunny day and, you know, we were having fun at the water park. The little seagulls really kind of stood out to me. I thought that they were super cute, and there were 2 of them in the collection. So I'm going to do one down on the tag, and then I'll end up putting one over the sun as well. And then I wanted to make a third point of an embellishment cluster. So I'm just kind of playing with the die cuts over here to the side of this one photo, and I'll end up kind of layering a whole bunch of things, including a little banner and a little like swim tote bag and some things like that, and then a little sentiment piece as well. So I also found some really cute fish, and so I put them on the bottom next to my 2x2 photos. I thought it was cute. They looked like they were swimming towards all of those pictures with the kids, because this day at the park, they definitely were like little fish. You know, anytime you get the kids in water, it's so hard to get them back out and get them to leave once it's time to go. So I'm just going to kind of continue layering and tucking things. Right now I'm just dry fitting to make sure that I like the placement of everything. And then once I am certain of that, I will start gluing things down. Some stuff flat to the page, and then some stuff I'm going to put up on foam tape. So here's where I realized, you know what, I've got that inking and that stamping over here. I'm going to put some over next to that other cluster as well before I glue that left-hand cluster down. So I'll go ahead and get the sun and my cute little seagull all set, and then you can see where I've done that inking over to the left-hand page and added a few more of those stamps. And then I didn't want to leave my tag kind of empty with that little hole, so I went ahead and grabbed some white twine and just tied a little string through there, and kind of, that's cute. I like that. I'm trying to make sure that it stays the way I want it to. And then I thought, okay, you know what? Here's where I'm like, I've got that inking and the stamping in 2 spots, but I should probably put it down here as well, now that I know where that tag is going to be and I've got my journaling line stamped. And I didn't realize until I was going back and editing this video that I actually goofed right here, but I don't think that you can tell. I mean, obviously I couldn't tell until I was editing it, but if you notice here, when I go to do this stamping part, I have a different color blue ink out. I had stamped this on the other 2 spots of the page in Capri ink, and here I am grabbing the color Bluebird. Now I am still doing the 2nd and 3rd generation, so I think that's why it's not quite as noticeable as if it had been the full strength color. But yeah, this 3rd spot ends up having the stamping in a different color, but like I said, I didn't even notice until I was, you know, looking at this after the fact. So that's fine. That turned out okay. And I think I'm just about done, but I still feel like there's a lot of white space up here on top. So I want to do something to bring that dark bluebird color up. I went through my stamps until I found this little one here, scalloped border, that I just flipped upside down to make it look like waves. And so I stamped that all the way across the top, and I think that that's just like a fun little extra detail. And again, it helps to bring in that darker bluebird color. So this is pretty much going to be it. Like I said, I was really excited to begin playing with this July kit from Hip Kit Club. I am new to that subscription, and I have loved everything I have gotten in the mail from them so far. Such a great value. So many things. Like I said, I doubt I will ever make my way through an entire kit that comes. But I hope you guys have enjoyed watching and that you feel inspired. And I know it's been a while since I posted a video, so thanks for hanging in there with me. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Happy crafting. Bye.